guys, so today I'm going to be sharing with you all how to plan a wedding on a small budget. So first off, congratulations. You must be a bride or some kind of help of the bride and you're getting married or helping someone plan their wedding. So congratulations on your engagement. And I would like to say brace yourself because it's going to be a bumpy ride. But don't let that discourage you. Don't get stressed out or lose your hair over anything like that, But let's get started. So first off, set your budget. Set your budget and stick to it. Don't go over budget because of just like one little thing. If you're on a small budget, setting it and sticking to it is the most important thing overall. Because you don't want to, go broke for one day. That's just unrealistic, right? So when setting your budget, include every little detail. So include the aisle runner, the champagne flutes, the cake cutting knives, and all the silverwares, all that stuff. Include all that because even though it may be only $20 or $30, that adds up fast and it can equal $100, $200. So include as much as you can on every detail you will be having for your wedding. Picking a date. I would say give yourself like a year in advance to start planning your wedding because if you're on a small budget, of course you might want to do like some DIYs or you might want to research a lot to make sure you're getting the most inexpensive prices for the things you're looking for, and you just want to give yourself enough time where you can plan it how you want it to be and it can be the way you really want your wedding on the budget that you set already. Choosing your guest list. So this is by far one of the things that will save you a lot of money. So when choosing your guests, make sure that you're not just inviting everybody you know. I mean, if you want to do that, but if you're on a small budget, maybe you can't afford to, invite everybody, your fourth, fifth, sixth cousin that you never talked to or never met. I feel like those people don't need to be invited, but it's your wedding, so if you will want to invite those people, go ahead and invite them. But know that most venues do it by person, so they'll price each person and that's how you get your total. So just be aware that when you're choosing all these guests, that you're choosing people that you really want to come. And for small budgets, I would say make it kind of intimate, so you're not inviting so many people, like maybe 100 guests, 200 guests, like that. That way you can kind of stay in your budget point and you can also have other things besides just all these guests. You can have other details that you want in your wedding. Choosing your venue. So I would say try to book your venue as soon as possible as well. Once you get your guest list and you can tell the venue all the people that's coming, So when choosing it, I would say try to pick off season. For us, off season here is September. Well, I know my wedding is in September, so he told me I'm choosing a good time to have my wedding because it's off season. And also the days of the week matter. Of course, weekdays are the most inexpensive, but we didn't want a weekday. I mean, we did a Saturday, but we did morning, which is a little cheaper than Saturday night. So, I mean, just ask the venue, and they should want to tell you these prices because obviously they want you to book with them. So if you just ask them nicely, they might tell you, when it's the least expensive time for me to have my wedding at this venue. I love this venue and I really want to have my wedding here. Also, try to have your ceremony and reception at the same spot. I know a lot of people like church weddings, right? I didn't want a church wedding, so we picked our ceremony and our reception at the same exact location. So it's one drive for everyone, and the setup is very easy. We just bring the outside ceremony items, like the flowers or whatever, inside, and it can be just one big spot. You can get one total for the price. You're only paying one person. It's not, too much hassle on, I got to decorate the church, or I got to decorate this site. Then I got to go and drive and transport all my bridesmaids, my groomsmen, all the way to this site, So try to find an all-inclusive site at that. Because the site we're having it at is all-inclusive. They include food, beverages, and alcohol. They even have a DJ there, even though we're not getting their DJ, but they have where you don't have to do anything. They have centerpieces, they have everything, but some stuff I want to do myself to save money. And I like to say, if you have the option of having a venue that's maybe 30 minutes out and not too far of a drive, but they have a lower price than most venues in the most popular area of your state, of the city you're living in. So we're going to drive out we're not going to have our wedding in New Orleans, but we're going to drive to a smaller city because the prices are better there. And I know most of the family won't mind actually driving that little way just to get to the ceremony and reception site. But it is all in one location, so they don't have to drive to and from every different place. So after you set your budget, you pick your date, and you have your venue, next you're going to be like frantic about what am I going to wear. Of course, like all brides think that the dress is the most important part of the wedding because obviously all eyes will be on you as you walk down the aisle. But I would not say to go broke on choosing a dress because realistically you're only going to wear it one time. But if it's that important to you, you know, dresses can range all different types of prices, thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars. You can get it on the rack, on clearance, online. You can get them custom made. So it really depends on your budget. Now I would say before you go shopping to set a budget on your dress. Say you want to spend $1,000 on a dress, right? So set that budget and stick with it. Don't go $1,200. Don't go $1,500. Oh, this dress comes with this and this and this. Stick to that budget because you will also have to buy extras. You'll have to still buy your shoes, your accessories, you know, your undergarments. So that all goes with your attire of the dress. So don't forget those other little details like that comes with purchasing a dress. Alterations, which can be expensive unless you find a place that has them for free. And I'll say also, you know, look up, start a Pinterest board. Look at some dresses that you like before you go to the boutique of David's Bridal, wherever you're going. So they can kind of help you find the dress of your dreams, the dress you're looking for. And make sure you're thinking about your specific body type because what looks good on the models may not look good on you or may not flatter your figure or your style of the wedding that you're trying to have. If you're not having like a big ball gown, elegant, fancy wedding, you don't need a big ball gown dress, right? Unless that's something you really, really want. But, you know, just try to think of your style and your theme of the wedding and how you want to look on your wedding day. So choosing a photographer. So when you're looking for photographers, you know they can run up to like $2,000, even higher than that sometimes. So you want to be as budget friendly as you can, right? If you're on a budget. What we did, we found people that's, you know, newer to photography, and she already did some weddings, maybe like 10 or such weddings, right? So we was really interested in that, and we saw all the weddings she did. She gave us samples of all the weddings that she did, and we loved them. So don't be scared to get, you know, a newer photographer rather than someone experienced with thousands of weddings under their belt, because the new people still have potential to give you what you're looking for if you ask and make sure they can meet your standards, of course. So, you know, just look around for photographers. Maybe you know a photographer or a family friend may know a photographer, and you can just hire that person, and maybe they can even give you a discount, throw in some free prints, because don't forget, the prints also cost. So you're paying for the photographer for their time, and then you're also paying to get your prints. You want an 8x10, you want 3 8x10s, all that costs. So just remember to also put that in your budget when you're setting that as well. But I have another video on picking your wedding photographer, and I'll link that down below if you want to see that. Choosing a videographer. That's just like what I said with the photographer. Same thing. You know, find somebody you know, look around, get someone new. Maybe you can get a family friend or a cousin that's really not interested in weddings. Maybe one of your guy cousins that's into videography. Maybe you can get him to record for you and you edit it or pay him a little, you know, some kind of money to edit it for you, or you can edit it yourself. You know, if you just have a computer, you can edit something to your liking. So that's the ways you can save on a videographer if you don't want to actually go out and hire someone. But this is something that you really can't do yourself. Of course, you can't video your whole wedding, and you can't like take pictures of everything. You can't be with your little selfie stick taking pictures of everything. So these are two things that you will have to go out and hire someone to get the best quality. Wedding flowers. So wedding flowers can cost up to $2,000. That is ridiculous to me, right? Especially on a small budget. So you have to first choose out if you want real flowers or artificial flowers. Now, if you're going the artificial flower route, you can still get a florist, and if you're going a real flower route, you can still get a florist, right? Now, florists charge you for the time, for the flowers, whether the flowers are in season, they're not in season. They charge you for a whole bunch of things. So you can go that route with a florist and then choose from there what you want. But I would suggest, if you're on a small budget, to do them yourself. Buy the flowers in bulk, whether they're real or artificial. You'll still be saving money. Maybe you can get some of your girls to help you the night before or 2 days before the wedding. And that can be a nice little party thing y'all doing in y'all hotel room while y'all getting dressed and stuff. So putting together your bouquets. If you're doing the flowers yourself, I'll say, go on to Pinterest and look at some of the bouquets that they have and, see how you can recreate them. Maybe get on YouTube and look at the videos on people putting together bouquets to give you some ideas on how you want your flowers to look and your arrangements to look. And if you're having your ceremony and reception at the same site or at different sites, it doesn't matter. Get someone to bring your ceremony flowers to your reception. That way you cannot be wasting flowers, of course, and just having more flowers at your reception, because no one's going to see them at your ceremony if everyone's at your reception. So I say take your flowers and just bring them with you to the next location or bring them inside at your reception. Choosing your invitations. So I'll say invitations can cost up to $300 to $400 or $500 depending on what you like, right? So you have Etsy, you can order them from someone and they can custom make them for you, or you can do them yourself, which will be free. You can print them at home. You can get a free template, go to a printing service, let them print them. I mean, you have endless options with wedding invitations. You can order them from like Wedding Paper Divas or something. But I'll say the least expensive is to do them all yourself. If you have a home printer, just print your invitations at home. Get a free template, print them at home, or if you're crafty enough, go online and make your own template and print them at home. That way you can be using less money, but you do have to put in more time and energy. So all of the different options of invitations you have to figure out what's important to you. Are invitations that important where you want to spend $400 on Wedding Paper Divas when you could have did it at home for free? Just weigh your options. To me, it's a piece of paper. It's not that important, so I'm going to do free. If I can choose to do everything for free, everything would be free, but I can't. So I know what to splurge on and I know what not to splurge on. So, just realize what's important to you on your wedding date, which the invitation is not even on your wedding day, it's before your wedding. But, that's why you have to think about the important things in your wedding and what's not important to you. Choosing a band or a DJ. Choose someone that you know or that's recommended to you, because you want everyone to get up and dance at your wedding, to have a good time. The DJ and the band, it makes the whole wedding. If no one's dancing or having fun, then you're going to have a boring wedding. You might be sad on your wedding day. So I would say just don't skimp there. The cake. So to me, cake isn't that important where I want to spend $1,000 on a piece of cake. I can't imagine. Especially if you're on a budget like I am. I'll say cake maybe can charge you anywhere from $2 a slice, $10 a slice, depending on the kind of cake, if you haven't filling, the kind of icing, the decorations on the outside of the cake. To me, what's important is the taste of the cake. That's what people are going to eat, so you want the cake to taste good. All the decorations on the outside, that's all nice and pretty, but of course your wedding is already going to be nice and pretty. So just realize what's important to you. Again, is a beautiful cake that's going to cost you $1,000 that important, or can a plain cake do the same thing as a very fancy cake that's only going to cost you, maybe a plain cake will cost you $300-400. So just remember that most places charge for per person slices on cake. Wedding favors. So wedding favors can cost anywhere from $1 for one or $5 for one. And if you're having 100 guests and it costs $5 for one wedding favor, that's $500. So are wedding favors that important to you? Or you want to spend maybe $100 to $500 depending on how many guests you're having, right? And also, is it that important that they have just some little trinket that they're not going to ever use? Maybe they forget it in a car or don't even take one from the wedding. Just think about what's important to you on favors. Maybe you have none at all because you're already spending $100 per person, or even more or less than that. Hair and makeup. So hair and makeup can cost anywhere from a few dollars if you're doing it yourself, or it can be very expensive if you're hiring a professional to do your hair and your makeup. Now, me personally, I am hiring hair and makeup because I don't feel like I'm capable enough to do my hair and makeup on my wedding day. But if you do, I would say go ahead and do your own hair and do your own makeup. You do it every day out of the year anyway, so why not do it on your wedding day? Now, I have natural hair, so I'm not going to take on that challenge on my wedding day, and I don't think I'm going to be capable enough to put on mascara without crying. some bonus tips I have for y'all. So I would say use apps. Use the Wedding Wire, use the Knot, get on all the bridal budget friendly apps and websites that you can, because there's a lot of information. A lot of people love to help you. A lot of people love planning weddings. So get all the help that you can. If you know a family or a friend that has recently got married in your area, ask them, where did you order this? Where did you purchase that? You know, maybe they can help you out as well. Take as much help as people will give you, because you need all the help you can, even though you may want to plan everything out yourself because you want it to be perfect, right? Of course, everyone wants everything to be perfect, but you don't have to give them like all the little details. You can give them something big to help you plan. You know, maybe just address and invitations, or getting all the addresses for the invitations. You know, if they're gonna help you with that, and that's one less thing you have to actually do, that'll be great, because the wedding is so much stress and so much stuff you have to do. The checklist is so long, so you know, get as much help as you can. And don't be afraid to ask your groom. I know a lot of brides don't really ask their groom to help them. I don't even really ask my groom to help me, but I'm starting to say, you know, hey, can you help me with this? I'm kind of stressed out. Can you just book this for me, please? You know, and a lot of grooms, of course, they don't mind helping, but you know, they don't really care about wedding flower details. You know, so I would say if they don't really care about those things, you know, don't ask them about flowers, because most grooms don't care about flowers. They don't care about what the wedding colors are, what the theme is. You know, ask them things that will be fun for them to do. And of course, what's important to you is what matters the most, not what's important to your family, what's important to your friends, what everyone else thinks, all that good stuff, etiquette, all that stuff. It only matters what's important to you, because this is your wedding. So don't let all those things and all those people influence you and stress you out about things that you don't even care about. If you don't care about, you know, having a live singer at your ceremony, then don't have one. You know, just what's important to you is what matters. Because if you're paying for this wedding and it's a small budget, do what you can afford. Do what you can afford, because you don't want to not be able to live life after this one day, after the day of your wedding, and you come back home and you have all this stuff you have to pay. You know, you still have to live a life after the wedding. So don't go broke for a wedding. It's one day. It's a day you're going to remember and cherish forever, of course. So it's not going to be cheap. But don't just spend your whole life savings or max out your credit cards for one day. So guys, I hope this helped. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more of my wedding series. And once again, congratulations.